Good afternoon, beautiful women of the world. I'm so happy to be here with you again this Friday. Thank you for joining me. One of my favorite songs for children is This Little Light of Mine. I'm gonna let it shine. And I know there are many versions out there, but I'll pick Sam Cooke's anytime. The episode's title is about shining our light. Now, yes, we're grown-ups, but I think with social conditioning, we have sometimes forgotten the elements of doing just that. There's always something going on in our world, often challenging us to take a stand. Some of these situations create divisions, and divisions increase the levels of negativity in our external world. Dividing to conquer has been a modus operandi for generations. Why would those who choose this approach stop now if it has worked for them all this while? There are currently about over 20 plus wars going on, all being fought on many different fronts. The outrage for me is how women and children are the ones that suffer the most from the casualties of war. They continue to use weapons of mass destruction, often ignoring the common sense, peaceful tools available to all of us. How can we counter that? Obviously, we cannot engage on the same low frequencies that create these situations. But creatively, we can choose to engage differently and spiritually by knowing what makes us really come alive, noticing the circumstances that light us up from the inside and make us shine. What the world needs now is for people, for us women especially, to come alive. Now here's a poem I want to share with you. It goes like this. The river is famous to the fish. The loud voice is famous to silence, which knew it would inherit the earth before anybody said so. The cat sleeping on the fence is famous to the birds, watching him from the birdhouse. The tear is famous briefly to the cheek. The idea you carry close to your bosom is famous to your bosom. The boot is famous to the earth, more famous than the dress shoe, which is famous only to the floors. The bent photograph is famous to the one who carries it, and not at all famous to the one who is pictured. I want to be famous to shuffling men who smile while crossing streets. I want to rephrase that. I want to be famous to shuffling people who smile while crossing streets. Sticky children in grocery lines. Famous as the one who smiled back. I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous, or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do. So what can you do? Can you remember what you can do? What makes you come alive? Now, chapter 36 of the Tao Te Ching says this: if desire shall conceal true self will manifest itself even more. If desire shall weaken true self will strengthen itself even more. If desire shall abandon true self will be prosperous even more. If desire shall deprive true self true self will give even more. This is known as the enlightened nature that is subtle yet profound. Gentleness overcomes strength, and the meek overcomes the strong. Just as fish live in deep water and cannot survive after being taken out of the depths, and the powerful weapons of a country should not be displayed, just like one's true nature cannot be revealed to be seen. Unquote. It's interesting, fish came up twice. Remembering not to ask what the world needs, but to ask what makes you come alive. And then we go out and do that because of what the world needs is for you and I to come alive. I'll share some of my beliefs here. I wrote in one of my blogs, Just Mercy, which you can find on my website, mensimah.com, that I believe in the human capacity to do good. I believe in the empowerment of self, and that if we can generate that inner power and goodness, we can overcome anything together. I believe it is imperative that we choose a cause to serve humanity in some capacity. And because there is power in numbers, we can effect change. Helplessness and hopelessness are not options. This is a call to all those who feel that this human condition can be improved. That is the love of God, of Jesus Christ, of the Buddha, of Allah, and of many cosmic beings of light who endow our experience with love. Let us bring forth as part of our spiritual journey, growth and healing, a deep love and mercy that touch the souls of the other. Now, another belief that I shared is in my book, Sam Cooke, Learning from Hindsight. And I say this: the most crucial development will require women to support one another in solving problems such as child abuse, abandonment, incest, and having shelter for runaways. Women have the right to disagree with each other, but I believe that there are certain situations where we need to find common ground because they affect our children. I believe that men have successfully kept women apart because it is a male-dominated world, but women have kept themselves apart by believing that they can gain power only by either siding with men or defying them. I believe that when women do not measure their power in relation to men, they use their nurturing spirit to make this world better. And as a believer of truth, I hold a vision of the Holy Feminine within me now. I relate to the regal, beautiful, gentle, passionate, and wise matriarch of this earth. I recognize the life force of women and believe that each one of us can find love, peace, joy, and growth in our life experiences. We can touch each other through spiritual practice. I once dreamed that 6 other women and I from different parts of the world were summoned to follow different paths toward the same destination. When we gathered there, we followed an old wise woman into a room and stood in a circle. Within that circle was a tiled floor with a big gemstone of a different color where each woman stood. As we reached out to hold hands, each gem lit brightly and formed rays of every color imaginable. As the rays of color converged at the center of each stone, a star changed into a white spot and lit the sky. This dream conveyed to me a powerful message of the value of every woman's unique gifts. I'll say that again. This dream conveyed to me a powerful message of the value of every woman's unique gifts. We have our own stories and different paths to travel, yet we unite to affect personal, societal, and spiritual changes that reclaim the goddess in each of us and on behalf of the world. This dream is being realized now. It can be realized now if we stick together and if we step up and ask and answer the question as to what the world needs. They cannot beat us all down at the same time if we are shining our light. Remembering that coming alive, shining our light, is also about practicing faith. Faith in the divine, faith in our true self and what it can do. You can accept certain truth about who you truly are, a divine being having a physical experience. When you feel discouraged, say this: I am all that is known. I am all that is unknown. I am in the drops of the tear. I am in the grain of sand. I am in the seer. I am seen. I am in the unborn and in the undying. I am the one who is born. I am the one who dies. I am beyond time, yet I am found in time. I am totality, and so are you. I am the sun, the moon, and the stars. Infinity, I am. Eternity, I am. Immortality, I am. And look back around and feel you are the presence. And by shining our light, we as women of power and grace can change the world. One woman, one light, one love at a time. I'll say this again. We as women of power can change the world. One woman, one light, one love at a time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your love. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, and your donations help us to continue delivering the psycho-spiritual messages to support all women any place in this world and universe. I'm very grateful. I'm very emotional today. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Be a woman of power and grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you.